Guys, I hope you're doing well today. This is the part 2 of my 3D portfolio website tutorial. Those who haven't watched the part 1, just go and watch it because you will have no clue what I'm gonna do in this video. So I hopefully in YouTube, in the top right corner, there will be eye icon which I have already shown that video. So just tap on it and just go and watch it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's get back to the main point of this tutorial in which I'm gonna show you more and how to create the section 2 of my portfolio website. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Guys, I'm gonna teach you how to interact with this 3D object. Although this is kind of looking already nice, but what if we are able to interact with this particular 3D object, which is a torus? So let's say if I come up over here and try to put my mouse as right over this place, the cursor, then what if it just slow down, or when I click on it changes color? I mean, it will be more interactive. So can we really do that? Luckily in React 3 Fabric, yes, we can do that. So obviously you guys know about the use state and the count thing, the count variable. So basically I'm gonna just use this thing just to test it out, that are we really able to interact with this object or not. So hope you know this thing, use state. So use state is basically a hook in React in which basically we can just create a variable, and whenever we try to change that values of that variable, it's gonna re-render the component so that it can update on that particular website without over reloading the whole page. So let's say right now the count variable is number. In TypeScript we just make sure that this thing is number and nothing else will be put it over here. So in mesh basically we just need to call this attribute on click and just put it right over this place. I mean, we just need to call this function. What should I call? Oh guess, oh my god, the copilot already assumed that I'm gonna call this function. So he must be looking from someone else's repository, but we won't, don't gonna talk, I mean we ain't gonna talk about that thing. So let's say set count plus 1. So yeah, that's really which we want. So I hope that whenever I try to click on it, it's going to update the value of my count. So let's just cancel out this thing. So I mean, it is really working or not. Let's just check it out. So I'm gonna open my console window and I'm gonna be like this. When I try to click on it, oh my god, it's really working. So we are finally able to interact with the object. So that's what we actually want, that whenever I try to put my cursor over here, I want it to stop for a file just because I want to feel like Magneto of X-Men. So that's my main motive. So how can I achieve that thing? So basically I'm going to create a variable called speed. It's not iShowSpeed, man. It is basically speed. So in this I'm going to call this thing speed, and let me just wait for the copilot to fill it up. Okay, it's not showing up. Okay, fine, it's finally showing up. So right now I'm going to set the value of speed of 1. So just because when I try to multiply it, the delta value with the speed, so I can control the speed of the animation. Right now it is 1, so it's not changed at all. So I'm just gonna use this thing on pointer enter. So basically it's gonna act as an, what do we say, the hover functionality. So whenever I try to enter my cursor in the what do we say, the region of the object, it's gonna call this function. So I wanted to set the speed to be 0.0 just to slow it down and feel like Magneto. Then after that, once I'm done with it, then I'm gonna just say pointer out. So once I'm out, let's just make the speed normal as it is. So if I come back at my website and try to refresh and look at it, so when I come over here and hover it, as you can guys observe that it is just stopped at that moment, and it's actually looking pretty nice, and that's what really we want, and that's what we actually want to achieve. Now next, what else can we do? I think we can do one thing. We can, what if we are able to click on it and change the color of it? It will be looking more interactive. So, and also the user will also love it. So how can we achieve this thing? So basically for that, we're gonna create a, for what do we say, a list of colors. Let's say constant, and let's say colors. In this color I'm gonna put red, green, blue, purple. I mean, as many as colors which we want. So that's pretty much it. So once I done that thing, I'm gonna say colors should be, I mean, so it's not going to take this thing as thing. It's gonna give an error. I just report it right over here so that it can interpret it, that thing as a, what do we say, JS code. So that's pretty much it. So once I'm done with it, as you can guys observe that whenever I try to increase the value of count, it's gonna mod with its length. So basically what it does is, I'm gonna give you a simple example right at this place. So let's say I have three variables, 1, 2, and 3. When I try to increase the value of count, let's say at some point the count become 4. So although we don't have any object 4, so when I try to mod it with the length of this own object, it's gonna give me the value of 1. So it is always going to be inbound. So whenever I try to mod with it, it's never going to be out of range. It's gonna give me the value of 1, 2, and 3, and that's pretty much it. So it's never going to be outer bound. That's why we use mod function. So that's pretty much it which you want to know. So when I come back and when I click on it, as you can observe that it's changing the color, and that's what we really want to achieve. So that's pretty much it about this tutorial, and now let's move on to the section 2, which is more highly interactive than this one. I mean, this one is also interactive, but I mean, just leave it. So basically, before moving to that, basically I just want to tell you that right now we are at the origin of this website, 0 comma 0 comma 0 of this octet. So right now I just want to, even if I try to, let's say by using the orbit control, if I try to move it, it's not going to move further away. It's gonna stuck at that 0 point. So for that, what I'm gonna do is basically I'm gonna change the z index. So as you can guys observe, it's not even moving there perfect. So right now what I can do is basically in this group we just gonna change the position. So in this position we're gonna put 0 comma 0 comma 5. So once I done this thing, it's gonna move forward, as you can guys observe just right now. So it's just move forward. So what I want is that my section 2 must appear just behind it. So as you can guys know that this is the x-axis, I mean the y-axis, and this is the z-axis, I mean y-axis, and the front and back, the movement which we're doing right now, we are just traveling in the z-axis. So basically our section 2 is behind this section 1. So that's pretty much it. So what can we do? So basically I need to pass this thing as z. So what is z? Z, I mean the TypeScript doesn't know, so we just need to define this thing that z is a number, which is basically the position of the z object of this particular section. So I just need to remove this count since I don't need to debug anymore. And once I done this thing, I'm gonna come back to the scene and gonna tell that put my this section at 10 so that it can be right up here. So it's right here. So then after that, what I can do is basically I'm gonna create my section 2. So right now I haven't done any or created any section 2, but I'm gonna create it right now. So here's the section 2 .tsx. So I'm gonna say do the same thing RFC. So in this RFC, I'm just gonna remove this thing, import React. I mean, really, I don't need this thing right now. And also, I don't even want div, man. It's gonna give me an error because you've seen already that when I try to put div inside of this canvas, where is this canvas, man? Yeah, here it is. When I try to put div in this canvas inside of it, it's gonna give me an error because it doesn't allow any HTML content or whatever you say the tag inside of it. So that's pretty much it. So once I done with it, I'm gonna call this section 2. So in section 2, we also need to just pass the z value that's gonna tell that it should exist at that particular coordinate of this 3D octet. So in this, I'm gonna call it a group. Since I've already shown you what is a group. Group is basically act as a collection of mesh. So it's gonna define that this is this and this is a collection of that particular thing. So position and then why the copilot is not working anyway. I have to type it manually. Yeah, luckily it's worked right now. So what did you guys observe in section 2? So in section 2, what I basically observed, there are two things. The first thing, in the left hand side is a 3D model of me, and on the right hand side we have what? We have basically our name and then a little bit about description and three moving cubes. So let's achieve that thing right now. So basically in this we're just gonna call text. So in React 3 Fiber we already have text kind of stuff. So we're gonna import it right up here, and then after that I'm gonna say something blah blah blah. I mean whatever you want to call it right now. Don't take it too much seriously. So okay, it's not working. Fine, let me just recheck it again. So what went wrong? So basically I haven't even imported the section 2. So I just need to import the section 2 right up here. So section 2 and z index is obviously going to be 0. So I mean just for the simplicity I'm just putting 0 right now, and the section 2 isn't even imported, so let me just import it right now. So okay, like wow, as you can guys observe, so it's right up here, blah blah, I mean whatever the text mean. So once I'm done with it, I'm just gonna come back up here and just go to section 2. So okay, right now it is inset, it's looking pretty nice, I have no objection in it. So basically I'm gonna call this thing group 1 and group 2 stuff. So group 1 is this I mean why it is not auto filling up, but anyways let me just try it again. So bro, I mean why, man? Okay, group 1 is this. So I'm just gonna close this group. This is the, let me just call this thing, put the comment, it is the left section. And I come up here again, I'm just gonna call this the right section. So let me just type it right section. Then after that what I can do, I just in this right section I'm gonna put I'm also gonna put it into the group just to make it more simple. So I mean, bro, I mean just let me copy and paste it, man. Sorry for that. Yeah, once I done with it, it's pretty much it. So yeah, we are here and we are here. So first of all, I'm gonna deal with right section because it's kind of easy. So I'm just gonna tell this thing that that my text is gonna be like this. I haven't told them what is going to be the font and all those things. But let me just copy and paste from the section one. Why do we want to bother it anymore? So I mean just copy it, paste it right up here. I don't even need to change the font. I like this font already. So right now the font should be one, I guess. Yeah, it's looking pretty much fine. So what can we do? So right now it's at the origin, but we don't actually want it at the origin. Since the right section, since it is the right section, I want to move it a little bit on the right side. So let's say 2. So it's moving actually the right side. So that's what we actually want. So if I, yep, that's pretty much fine. And yeah, that's what I want right now. Then after that, if it is the heading, let's say in this website I just said, ahoy, I am what? So I am parrot. I'm a pirate. Just like, just leave it, man. I don't remember the joke. Ahoy pirate. So I don't like the font. It is kind of really big. So let it put it point 0.5, and then yeah, that's good. It's looking nice. Then after that, what can we do? Ahoy, I'm pirate. So you can also tell your hobbies after that. So then since after that, what we can do is basically just put it up here and just say whatever you like. Let's say so. Okay, so as you can guys observe that it is overlapping, but that's the thing which we don't actually want. So what can we do is we can just change the position of the text so that it may appear above it. So right now it is 0, 0, 0, but we want to move upwards in the y-axis. So what we can do is we can just put this thing so it is above, but we want to put right up here so it much lower. It's look much better right now. So in this thing, let's say you just want to tell what you do. So I like to ship. Not ship. Wait. So let's just say I like to sail a ship because that's what pirate do. Sail a ship. So that's pretty much it. That's the hobby of the pilot. The pirate. Yeah. Then after that, what else can we do? So after that, we can just give the brief intro about us. So I'm not gonna write the whole thing up. You can guys just write your own stuff, whatever you like. I'm just gonna put lorem ipsum just to make it more simple. So I'm just gonna copy and paste the lorem ipsum. Just let me just search it out, lorem ipsum generator, and come back over here and just I'm just gonna copy whatever I like. Really, let me just copy this thing up. Whatever it makes sense or not. See, it is literally a mess. What the hell is even happening? It's not looking pretty nice. So I can basically fix this thing up. What I can do is basically I can just move this text a little bit up. Ahoy, I'm a pirate. Then after that, I can just move this thing a little bit up. So right now, I just need to put this position in as. Luckily, the co-pilot listened me and just straight write the code for me. Thank you, guy. Then after that, what I can do, I just need to move this a little bit more up so that it will look more nice. Now it's really looking bad. Let me just put a little bit below it. Yeah, now it's looking nice. So as you can guys see, the about us section is kind of messing up. It's really big. So yes, I can fix this thing up. What I can just need to do is basically I need to tell the font size. Hey man, I don't want the font size of 1. Put it to 0.2. So it's looking pretty nice. So since there is no BR tag in React, so basically we need to do it manually and we need to just create text again and again. And those of you guys who know this thing, how to move the text next word, to the next line, just tell me in the comment section. Okay, otherwise I'm gonna stick to this since it makes more easy for me to write the code. So it's gonna be like this. So right up here. So and all, let me just change the color. It's literally I'm not able to see the text at all. So let me just put it be a black color. And since the black look way much better in white background. So yeah, if I try to do this, yeah, I'm able to see it. It's 0.2, it's kind of really small. So let me just convert this thing to a 0.3 and let me just remove this thing. Let me just repeat the same stuff since you're gonna write your own content. So once I'm done with it, it's a lot of turned me off. I don't know what the hell it is. Maybe someone is going to say something like that. Obviously, not just a template. Leave that thing. And yeah, it's pretty much the 4 lines. So if these are the 4 lines, what I can do, I just put it. I guess here the position. I just wanna give the position. So the position is obviously going to be above it. So what I can do is just put it right above it. So it's basically point 1 comma 1 comma 0. So in this way it will be look different and it won't overlap. Then after that what I can do is basically I come up over here and just put the same thing, the position and define to each one of them, and it's gonna be a little bit different value so that it will be just below each of them. So right now it's gonna should be a point 0.8 since it is overlapping with the above tags. Then after that I'm gonna call it to be 0.6, I guess. Let us make a line height difference of this 0.2. Then after that I'm just gonna call it to a 0.2. So as you can guys see, it's looking pretty good right now. So, but there is one more thing. As you can guys see, we don't want our text to be incentive. So in React, we literally don't, I mean, in React 3.5, we literally don't have anything to make this thing align left. So we need to do it manually. I mean, yeah, it's really sad, but anyways, guys, we need to do it. So let's just say, I think this one is looking pretty nice. So I guess I need to move this thing. Let's say just move it to -1. So, okay, it's too much. Let's just move it to zero point 0.5, minus zero point 0.5. Then after that, let me just move this thing also to minus zero point 0.5. So it's kind of aligned better. I mean, you can guys just take your time and align the text as much as better you want. So I'm gonna just move ahead, and I'm just gonna fix a little bit more. Let me just speed this thing up 3.5. I mean 3.5, and let's just call it 1.5. And okay, it's not looking really good right now. Don't know why. So let me just call it 3, and just let me just call it 0. Oh my god, still not looking well. So basic difference is 3, so it's obviously going to be point minus 1. So, and after that, so yeah, here we are. Once after the configuration is done, what we need to do is we want to make it more simple. So next step is basically is going to render the 3D cubes which we have seen for my social media links. So how can we achieve this thing? So again, we're gonna group it. Since we try to group it, it will make the code more easier and more manageable. So once I try to group, it's gonna group. I wanna render my components. So basically, I know that I'm gonna render a cube, but that cube have particular configuration. I just want to repeat that configuration. So there is some kind of component which I'm gonna create right now, although it is not available, so it's obviously gonna give me the error. So in the same section, I'm gonna create a component, so it will be more relevant that whose component it belongs to. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So then after that, I'm gonna call the function. I'm gonna name of that particular. So what is a cube is my cube, since it is my cube. Then I'm gonna call this thing up. Then RFC, it's a shortcut to just quickly create this thing. Uh, yep, this function to of component. Then after that, what can we do? So I don't actually want this div. So basically in this div, I want a mesh. So mesh is, I have already explained you guys. Why would I even repeat it? So you obviously know. So mesh is kind of a parent tag inside which you can render any kind of geometrical object which you like or which you can imagine. Box geometry is the basic one in which it's going to pass a very argument 1 basically this is the height fit and depth. That's pretty much it. That's what you need to do. And then we're going to pass this mesh standard object, so it's standard material. So as you can guys observe that in the section 1, the boxes which we were looking at were kind of shiny. They were looking shiny and they were rotating. So what can we do that? I mean, you have already guessed how can we do this thing. So first of all, to make that thing look a metalish, I'm gonna say that metalness should be 1. Then after that, I'm gonna reduce the roughness to be 0. Then after that, I'm gonna call it to be color of white. So that these are the configuration which you need to keep in mind. And once we are done with it, I guess we need to pass the image. So basically, since let's say we are showing some kind of social media icon, obviously we need to pass the link. So for that, we're gonna create a texture. So I've just saved the code in which we're gonna use this thing, use loader. So it's gonna use a loader from React 3 Fiber, and after that, tree is not imported. So from where can we import tree? Wait a minute, guys. I'm just gonna check how to import this tree. So I guess the 3 is imported like this, and we'll just put import everything as 3 from 3. So then after that we just need to put the texture. So right now in this way we will be able to render whatever the image it is or it have. So as you can guys see, I'm just passing the image, and image is obviously going to be a string. So I'm gonna explain this thing. Okay, the object which we're passing right now is a string. Okay, cool man. Okay, we're gonna accept that string as an image. So so basically you need to just download this thing on your own. These are basically the social media, whatever social icons as in SVG format. I'm just gonna use this thing up. So once I come back to the section 2, I'll be like this. Okay, now finally I have the component my cube, and I'll be like this. Okay, I want to pass this image. So what image even I'm talking about? So first of all, I'm gonna import this thing. So I import the whole images very quickly. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. Okay guys, I'm here back. I'm finally able to import all the images, although it was a lengthy process, but I did it anyways. So here we are. So I've imported the LinkedIn. Next, what I want to import the GitHub, and then after that, I wanna import, what do we say? The GitHub we have, the LinkedIn GitHub, and the last one is award. So yep, that's pretty much it. Award. In the end, we're gonna import award. So right now it's gonna look pretty much messed up. So what was the error which I'm unable to check? Okay, so it's just saying, does this file even exist? Or I mean, you're just imagining, man. So basically I guess the import was wrong. It was single, there was no s in it. So then after that, okay, again as you can guys observe that it is overlapping. So how can we fix this thing? Obviously there is a way in which we just gonna tell that group, okay, just move this thing a little bit left side. So it's gonna be like this, -1 0 comma 0. So in this way we'll be able to move it a little bit left. Okay, just make it -2, so it's not looking nice. Then after that what I can do is basically in the cubes I'm gonna just tell this thing, okay, we're going to pass something else. So we're gonna pass this position. We're gonna pass the position. So right now they don't know what position is, so I'm gonna tell that it is position. You don't know position, basically is position is the location at which the object relies in the octets. So it is basically this much vector. So right now, I mean, it is vector 3, but right now just to make it error free we're gonna call it any. Then after that what else can we do? Just we need to pass this position as a position. So we can just pass the position. Then after that what we're gonna do is we basically gonna tell this thing right now, okay, let me just do the ninja technique of this. What do we call that? We could click on alt and then just select each one of them. I'm gonna tell the position each one of them. So right now it's gonna be 0, 0, 0. So I just want to move each of them a little bit right to each other. So let's just call this thing, I mean it's x direction, so it's going to be 2 and this is going to be 4. So in this way they look totally segregated to each other. Now I just want to move this thing a little bit downward. So what can I do? I mean I just need to do just -1. So in this way it will be a little bit downward, and let's just put it right over here. So now it's looking really good. So I mean as you can guys observe that it's not even looking, I mean there is nothing to, I mean there is no light at all, it's not shining, and we want the metal to shine. So how can we do this thing? So there is a way, I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so here we go again. So as you can guys see, basically, I mean the cube is looking fine, but it's not glowing up. So what can we do is basically, you don't need to do a lot. In this my cube, once we come up here, we just need to change the rotation of it so that it will reflect the light and it will shine bright like a diamond. So how can we do this? Basically, just rotate in this axis. This is a x-axis. We're gonna rotate in x-axis. So one side on this thing, as you can guys see, is shining. So should we add a little bit of animation? Obviously, we need to add a little bit of animation. Otherwise, it's not looking that much fine. So first of all, what we need? We need a reference. So what is a reference? So basically reference is the mesh reference. So we're gonna say use reference. So use ref. So this ref could be any right now, just to make it simple. We don't need to bother it about, we don't need to even bother that much. Then refer, what is refer? This ref, we are talking about this. I mean let make it more meaningful, mesh ref, and then we're gonna say mesh, and then after that we're gonna call it ref. So mesh ref. So once we're done with it, we're gonna simply tell the what do we say? Yeah, we just need to add the animation. So use frame, then after that underscore this. You know what, let me just copy and paste the repeated work. Why would I even do the same thing if I've done it already? You should keep this thing in mind while doing coding. So I just gonna remove this thing up. I'm gonna say this. So basically I've used the same variable, so it's not gonna look into that much and not gonna tell you a lot. Then after that, what I can do is basically I just want to import this thing from the React 3 fiber. Then after that, okay, I write down I have the speed, and also I don't want to move in X direction, I just want to move in Y direction. So yes, we can do this thing. So once I'm done with it, I can, yeah, as you can guys see, it's now looking much good. It's way much better than the previous one. So that's pretty much it, and I guess the video is kind of really long, and I just want you guys to just implement the same thing in like which I did in this object, make it move slow. And also one thing, let me just clear it, let me just make it easy for you. So once I click on it, I just want to tab the user to that particular section. So can I do this thing? Yes, we can do this thing. So how can we do this thing? So how can we redirect the user to that particular social media link? So for right now, I'm gonna just do a hard code, and I'm gonna keep as a homework for you guys to figure it out how to do it for the individual right now. Let's say when I click on it, and I'm just gonna redirect the user to window.open. I'm just gonna call it, say, open it on http://google.com. So I will just put it the www. So once I click on it, any of the boxes is gonna redirect to the Google. So that's pretty much it, and videos are already very big, and I hope you guys are already, I mean, exhausted by this much of knowledge. So we're gonna see you in the next part. Let's aim for 159 subscribers.